the failed drive of Germany's Africa Corps across North Africa were shaped decisively by oil. Decades later, perceptions that the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan could be the first step in a push to control energy resources in the Gulf informed U.S. and Saudi efforts to support the Afghan Mujahideen. More recently, oil and gas have funded the rise of separatist groups in Nigeria and played a critical role in the surprising rapprochement between Turkey and the Kurds of Iraqi Kurdistan. The need for reliable energy supplies has also underpinned unlikely partnerships, such as those between Washington and Riyadh, or between Europe and Russia. And for the bulk of the last 30 years, nervousness over energy scarcity was one of the most important animators of Chinese foreign policy. Today, the impact of energy on international affairs is as pronounced as ever. Yet energy's bearing on geopolitics has arguably never been less understood. Why is this the case? One possibility is the rate of change. In the last decade alone, developments in the world of energy have unfolded at breakneck speed. Technology has brought large quantities of oil and gas, once thought too expensive to produce, to global markets. The declining costs of some renewable energies are making them competitive in some locations without government support. Digitization is introducing the possibility of once unimagined efficiencies. And concerns over environment and climate change are spurring new forms of global action. All of these changes, moreover, are part of dynamic systems, which will continue to evolve, injecting new incentives and obstacles into the political domain as they do. Another reason why energy has not figured more prominently in the analysis and making of foreign policy may be explained in the work of Robert Jervis, a professor now at Columbia University who has applied psychology to policy and decision-making. Jervis writes of the tendency of all people, when seeking to explain complex phenomena, to unconsciously discount the importance of factors they do not understand. The workings of energy markets are often complicated and technical, possibly leading many to gloss over their critical role in shaping international affairs, and to focus instead on more intuitive explanations, such as politics and history. This audiobook intends to remove that obstacle for non-expert listeners seeking to appreciate one of the most long-standing and consequential drivers of global politics: energy. It demystifies energy markets and powerfully and tangibly relates them to the most basic and fundamental drivers of foreign affairs. It demonstrates how the energy revolution that has taken the world by surprise in the last decade is creating both new opportunities and new challenges at a global level, altering the balance of power between countries and shaping their actions and attitudes toward one another. Understanding this interaction between energy and international politics is and will continue to be essential to appreciate the unfolding global landscape. It will arguably be more important in driving foreign policy outcomes than many of the other issues consuming the calories of policymakers and the airtime of pundits. The 12 months of 2016 were sobering for those who believed they understood the underlying dynamics of many global trends. The frequency with which conventional wisdoms and established understandings were proven wrong should spur us to look for new lenses through which to comprehend the world. This audiobook offers its listeners just that. Many listeners will be surprised at how powerful the prism of energy is in making sense of global events. While surely not determinative on its own, energy is, and will continue to be, a major driver of how the world works. Introduction. I sat waiting, a bit self-consciously, on the sofa in a large, tidy office, something of a cross between a workspace and a diwan, which in the Arab world is the section of a house that is always open to guests. I wore the customary long, loose, black abaya, but I had let my headscarf fall and rest draped around my shoulders. In previous meetings in Saudi Arabia, I had opted for what I called the